Okay, we're coming out with a new all-cast zipper wheel. Works very well. We had a few rows out. We brought them out in June this year. We had a few rows out, and what farmers are finding that this does not catch any mud or anything, and the guys really like that. And the reason why this plastic with the wider area in here will sometimes it'll build up with a little bit of mud. It still doesn't really affect the wearability or the closing of the seed furrow, because you've got part of that too sticking out, and it's still doing its job. It's still rototilling that soil in around the seed. But this new cast one, we're getting a lot of compliments back from farmers with this new cast closing wheel. We also have an all-cast Mohawk also that we're running, and it's gonna take down the road, probably take some of the place of the plastic halves and so forth.
But I am interested in these because of this last spring.
The muddy soil conditions.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, this year was a super bad year for mud and stuff.
Yeah.
And guys were complaining about any type of wheel.
Any type of wheel, especially when you have a 90-degree angle like this, mud is going to pack into that corner and stay there. You can't get rid of it. With an open cast like this, it has a tendency to shed itself. Sure, we're going to pack a little bit here.
That
but
relief there, I think, is going to help.
It lets it slide right by.
Yeah.
The other thing we designed into these is we actually have a tiller. So let's say you've got a John Deere 1790 drill where the bearing's in the arm, or even the 750. We've got a bracket that we can bolt onto this wheel.
Really?
Slide it right through and put it on that drill. Same way with the international drills.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this way you don't have to utilize the bearing here. You can still utilize the one up in the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we need to, we've got shields that we can put in here if a guy is concerned about getting stalks caught in here, even though I haven't seen any yet.
Well, that's another one of those residue management issues.
It is.
We're seeing a lot of guys doing cover crops, planting into green cover crops. And our zipper closing wheel really does a good job of
breaking that soil loose from that root structure.
Yeah, and it doesn't wrap.
Yep.
Right.
And in we had a few guys down in southern Missouri that had cereal rye and veg up probably 5, 6 foot tall and running green. And so they turned the wheels around on the zippers, put them inward, and they still closed the seed furrow and never wrapped once.
Yep.
Really?
As long as you have it
on that heavy
on that to where this design where your planter's going to be going forward this way, so that drops out. We have that 90-degree angle built into there so it doesn't catch trash and wrap. But if you're going this direction, going that way, they'll catch and bring it around. But if you're going that way with it turned inside, it still works awesome. With these set up, our wheels are sitting at about, what, a 30-degree angle here?
Yeah, 22 to 30.
22 to 30 degree. We're actually entering that soil a little bit over, and we're pulling that into the side, busting up that sidewall compaction. The nice thing about these wheels is when you're following something like this walking beam, you're out there trying to find seeds. Finding the first one is going to be really hard. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Instead of having a nice sharp V when we get done, we have that all tilled up to where it's nice and mellow, and we end up, it's a box type trench type deal set up where we don't have that sidewall compaction anymore, and finding that first seed's a pain in the butt. But if you know what your spacing is, you can lay a tape measure out, dig and find the second seed, and so on and so on. But
That's what I'm shooting for, is to avoid having to invest in these high dollars planters, and still come up with upgrade,
Well, thank you, Don. I appreciate you stopping by. And
it's always fun working with you guys because you always got the answers.
Well, we try and stay ahead of things.
You definitely
I think
do
the
that.
big manufacturers have lost. They don't know what you need or what you want out there, and that's where us smaller guys come in, because we build to please.
I know.
And that's...
You guys are asking questions when you come in you're saying, hey, I'm having problems with this or that. And then that's where these small manufacturers come into being.
Right.
They build something because they're hearing this from other farmers too.
Mm-hmm.
We're having the same problem, and how can we solve it? And that's what we try and do.
They still do not produce a no-till planter from the factory.
Yeah, these planters were designed back in the early
for
70s.
Mm-hmm.
And they were made to work in loose soils.
Right.
And now we're planting different than what we used to.
And I want to ask you what the definition of insanity is. It's
doing the same thing over and over again,
expecting different results. If you look at this planter row unit, it's nice and cast now. We've got the same gauge wheels we had back in the late 60s, early 70s. We have the same opener blade, same opener design, and the same closing wheels. That tells me we're beating our heads against the wall.
Yeah.
They're not changing.
If Grandpa did it was good.
Good,
Then it's good enough for me.
That's right.
Anyway. Okay.
That doesn't work too good.